What is up, tube users? I'm the stereotypical gamer, and welcome back to another fantastically fun games for under $15. Today, we are getting into my absolute favorite tactical shooter, and I was actually surprised that this game is under $15 base now, and that is Zero Hour. Because while this game is technically still in early access, I've probably had this game for around 2 years, and I've seen it develop a lot, and it's really close to being a full-fledged game. And for a total of only $12 for the full game right now is an absolute great price, and a really fantastic game for anyone that likes those Tom Clancy Rainbow Six Siege kind of tactical shooters. And I've played a lot of tactical shooters. They're some of my favorite games. I've played Rainbow Six Siege, I've played Ground Branch, I've played Ready or Not. A lot of those games, but Zero Hour just stands so far above those games for me for really two reasons. The tacticality and the movement and the whole planning aspect around these like missions, I guess, are really fun and interesting. Just the amount of ways that you can enter and breach into a building and take out enemies, and then the gunplay, which any tactical shooter, any shooter really, lives and dies by the gunplay. This game has such phenomenal gunplay. I mean, it is probably some of my favorite gunplay in any game ever. Like, truly, it is that good. Each gun feels unique and feels really just visceral when shooting it, and it just feels so good, and that's what really sets Zero Hour apart compared to other tactical shooters, in my opinion. And yeah, the amount of different weapons, the amount of different customizations for each weapon, it's pretty basic for customization, which is a good thing. There's a lot of games that will dive really deep into guns, but I kind of just like things to be simple, and especially when you don't have a lot of time to make a kit if it's not already pre-made, just keeping weapon attachments and keeping basic kits simple is not bad, in my opinion, and I really enjoy that simplicity. Now, for the most part, I enjoy co-op a lot more in this game than PvP. I'm just not a huge tactical shooter PvP fan, but I do like some of the things that they do in PvP compared to other tactical shooters. So I think the golden child for tactical shooters is Rainbow Six Siege, and when you start off a game on like attack or defense, if you're on attack, you get these like little drones to try and search where the bomb is, and then you kind of plan your way to where the bomb is and stuff like that. You have that same thing, but it's on a 3D map, and you kind of just have to highlight your route in order to try and find it, and I really think that's a cool and interesting thing to just kind of plot out the route that your team is going to take. And the other thing I think is great is the co-op, and I for some reason I find it to be infinitely replayable while not having the characteristics of replayability. All the co-op maps are the multiplayer maps, so it's a good way to learn the maps when you get into multiplayer, and it's just good to learn just the basics of how everything works in co-op. And I'm not usually a person to like try and get high scores on a game. I was never into like doing that on stand-up arcade machines, like punching my name for the highest score, but for some reason getting a perfect score on each of the co-op maps in this game has like just been my manifest destiny ever since I bought this game. I really enjoy trying to get a perfect score on each of the maps. And I can't tell you why, because it's not something that I would enjoy in any other game. But the just gameplay of this game just makes me want to achieve perfection. It's just the gunplay is so much fun. The tactability is so much fun. All of that combines to being a game that I can just replay over and over and makes me want to strive for perfection. But now that we've gone over some of the good in this game, let's go over the bad aspects of this game. And I think one of the biggest bad things about this game is just the kind of clunkiness of the maps. There's a lot of just random crap around that you have to maneuver. You don't have like a vault or anything, and sometimes the objects in a map will just not allow you to do certain things. Like I can't tell you how many times like there's just been a gun under a table that I can't get to and can't secure, and it causes me to get 99 out of 100 on in a run, and it's super frustrating. I wish there was a better way for them to do that. Like sometimes there's enemies that can spawn under beds and like under tables and stuff, which is a cool idea, something that you don't expect. And it definitely, for the first time that I saw it, I was not expecting it and got killed. But you 9 times out of 10 you can't get the gun from that person, and it's super frustrating every time that happens. Another frustration that I have in co-op, and I've gone over this in a previous video before, but if you have suicide bombers in your missions, if you have 2 or more, you cannot get a perfect score. So the game counts how many enemies are in a certain level, and each of them is supposed to have a weapon, and that counts towards how many weapons you secure. If you secure them all, it counts towards your perfect score, whatever. But suicide bombers don't have weapons. All they have is their vest, and even if you shoot them before they're able to blow up their vest, that it still goes off after they're dead. Like it goes off no matter what, and they don't have a weapon, so there's literally nothing to secure. But it shows up at the end screen that there's weapons that you need to secure, and I know for a fact that I've gone through levels, picked up everything, had 2 suicide bombers, and I wasn't able to secure 2 weapons at the end because the game thinks they have weapons when they don't. So I really hope that little thing gets fixed. And I know I'm probably the only person to complain about it, but oh my god, it is so frustrating to get a 99 out of 100 because you can't secure the weapons. And I think another thing that needs to be brought up is the fact that the PvP community in this game is pretty small. Just the community in general is pretty small. So trying to get matches with like no cheaters and stuff is pretty hard to do. The competitive scene's not really there. There's not a whole lot. You definitely can get matches, don't get me wrong, but it can take a little while. But for me, I just strictly enjoy the co-op. I will play the PvP from time to time, but the co-op is where it's at, in my opinion. So that's usually what I stick to. But yeah, I mean, that's all the real bad that I have to say about this game. I really do think overall this game has way more good than bad. It's honestly, in my opinion, the best tactical shooter out there. The gunplay is just so far unmatched compared to really any shooter. Like, I can't think of a game just in recent years that has better gunplay than this. It's really, really good. And I love the tactability of being able to use grapple hooks to climb different surfaces to get verticality easier. It's pretty cool to do that and peek through windows that way to try and breach through. I think that's really fun. A lot of the different stuff that you can use, like the drone, is useful. The under door cam, I don't really see much use other than PvP, but there just kind of everything has its place and has a usefulness to it, which I really enjoy. And finally, I mean, I don't know why I didn't touch on this earlier, but the maps are absolutely phenomenal. Each feel totally unique and really kind of stand out because of the differences in places you're going. It's not just like these apartment buildings that are just kind of copy-pasted floors. There is definitely a lot of unique places that you go to, and a lot of like unique story that comes out through different things. There's actually like a story to the co-op campaign. It's not really told through much medium other than the like briefing objectives, but it is kind of cool to see a story play out through the co-op. And actually, one other small detail that I really forgot to mention that I love about co-op, I'm trying to do it right here and was just failing miserably because this guy was kind of budged into the door. But basically, if you arrest a suspect, you can interrogate them and use your map to find out where other enemies are in the level, which I think is just such a cool idea, and it really helps with the tacticality of things. So you can arrest a suspect and then just interrogate them to find out where more people are and kind of plan your way to how you're going to breach where you know those people are. But yeah, I mean, I could go on all day talking about how great Zero Hour is, how much I love this game. But go try it for yourself. If you enjoy tactical shooters, I would say that this stands up with the best of them. And it is only $12. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.